I'll just say that again. Welcome to our first Town Hall 2023. Thank you all for being here. We are currently at 92 communities. Rod is here from Lunco. They are our newest community, and they're doing some pretty cool stuff. Sometime soon, Rod, I would love for you to present your community at the town hall. But this month, we actually have MetaGame. And I don't think Pete is here yet. He told me he's going to be a little late. But once he gets here, he's going to introduce us to MetaGame and what they're all about. And then if we have any questions for him, we can ask away. So Pete, once, or if someone could let me know when he gets in the room, then we can just pause and resume from where we left off. So just some updates from Panvala. Like I said, we have a new community called Lunco and Rod is here presenting or representing that community. We talked about this a bit last month. Oh yeah, go ahead, Rod. If you'd like to say something, please do.
Frankly speaking, I'm not ready to present my project today.
Sure.
Because it's the first town call in the year and in the first time I'm here. But I'm really happy that I've joined the community, and I would be happy to learn more about the chapters, especially the chapter related to Giveth, because Lunco had a page on Giveth, and I would be happy to learn more about it.
Great. Yeah, we'll talk more about chapters. I guess the important thing to know is that chapters is really a way how we organize ourselves internally. It doesn't really make that big of a difference for you. And so we don't want it to be confusing in that way. Like if you're a part of Giveth, you're kind of automatically a part of the network chapter. But like how we talked about, because you're not very engaged with Giveth currently, it kind of makes sense just to group you with the other Web3 communities that make up that 92 number. Giveth is kind of its own thing. I think they have like 200 communities or something like that. So there's nothing you really need to know other than that, Rod. But if you have other questions about it, we're happy to answer them.
Still not clear. I mean, I still do not understand the relationships between the Giveth and Giveth community and chapters. So sorry. Could you please clarify it?
Yeah. So Giveth is a network chapter. So because there are basically its own network of communities that they're allowing those communities to also take advantage of Panvala. So Giveth is one of the communities in Panvala, and then because they're already a part of Panvala, all of the communities that are part of Giveth can now take advantage of Panvala. So they don't have to sign up individually with Panvala to use Panvala. So that's how that network chapter works. The Web3 chapter is basically just each individual community that's reached out to us separately to want to join. And that one's made up the 92 communities I was speaking about. So it's basically the same. I mean, it is the same. It's just how you kind of get introduced to Panvala, like who your connections are. Yeah. Thank you. Hi, Pete. I think we should allow you to present next, and then we'll keep going if that's okay with you.
Sounds good. Should I just get started? All right. Yeah, so for those who don't know, A metagame is a massive online coordination game. That's how we defined it. And I find myself explaining it more as a real life MMORPG. That's kind of a term that more people are used to. And we are building what we're calling a decentralized factory. So for the DAO space, for the Web3 space. So that means we are pulling together different service DAOs and project DAOs, as well as learning resources, and creating these sort of onboarding journeys and quest lines and stuff for, well, helping onboard the first million contributors to DAO space, help people with their projects, like whoever wants to start a DAO can find some like learning resources or other people that would help them, or other service DAOs that could offer them services for what they want to build, and really trying to bring into one place anything that people need to first get onboarded into the DAO space, and then like if they have a project, to find things that they need for their project. So I explained MetaGame is this sort of a decentralized factory or an onboarding machine for the DAO space. But the ultimate goal of MetaGame is really empowering people to level up and take action in whatever way they see fit, like in terms of empowering their communities or building solutions to whatever problems that they're passionate about. And it starts with DAOs and Web3 because that's where we started and that's where we have the most knowledge. And it also happens to be the technology currently that's it's really, yeah, it's a, a revolutionary new technology that's empowering people to build new kinds of organizations, experiment with new kinds of governance technologies, build institutions, economies, and really, yeah, there's a lot of possibilities in this space. So that's where we are starting, but to really see this as a starting niche for metagame. Like it's Web3 is not the goal of metagame. It's just, yeah, how it starts with building these foundations and helping people get active in doing stuff by building communities. So that's really the gist of it. Are there any questions? I guess not. Yeah, I assume a lot of you have seen MetaGame's logo somewhere on Panvala's website. We have been members of the Panvala network for a long time now, pretty much since our beginning. I think that was 2019. I know MetaGame's beginning was 2019, and I think that was we joined the Panvala, yeah, pretty much the same year that we got started. So I'm happy to be here to present MetaGame. And yeah, I can either answer more questions or I can show some of the platform, whatever you want.
I think it might be helpful if you could show us some things, because I know it seems like metagame is very multifaceted, and I sometimes get lost in it. So if you could show something, I think that would be helpful.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's many different things all at once, so it can be hard for people to get a grasp. Oh, hello. I can't share my screen.
Go for it.
There we go. So this starting here, are you seeing it? Says I'm sharing. All right. This really explains the basics of what the idea of metagame is. And this is like the definition is like from the Wikipedia, not like our definition. And then it explains like the sort of the why we are here in terms of Web3, what's the problem with Web3, like being hard to navigate and all that sort of stuff. And like, yeah, why we are here. And then you go down, it like explains a bit more of the metagame, and then you get here and you decide to click join. And then you are taken through this whole sort of text-based choose your own adventure game. It's like inspiration from the Matrix, as you can see. And like depending on what you know about Web3 or what you don't know, then it tells you about like you go through this conversation, you select answers, and it tells you like whatever. If you're looking, if you don't understand anything about Web3, then it tells you the basics and sends you off to learn about more about the basics. Then if you're looking for a project to contribute to, then it sends you to different projects, or maybe it sends you to MetaGame. Or it might send you to other projects, like if you're looking for work, or if you have a project and you're looking for funding, then it might send you to MetaCartel to apply for a grant or to create a grant on Gitcoin. And really, there's a bunch of different ways that it branches off into. And then obviously one of the main ones is joining MetaGame itself. So it explains you the basics of MetaGame. And then, okay, when you're ready, got it. And then you get this NFT. And then you join as a player. And it starts, oh, not this guy, that's not meant to start here. Explains like how the journey through MetaGame works. Wrong chain, oh no. Let me get that. There we go. And then, yeah, you go through this profile creation flow. I don't know why the opening screen wasn't here, but it explains how these are decentralized profiles built on ceramics. So it's like you're a sovereign identity, like it's sort of a LinkedIn for DAOists, but there isn't owned by a LinkedIn, obviously. But you will see, like, I'm not gonna spend any time on this actual creation flow. I'm just gonna skip right through it, but it defines things like your skills, your roles, and other things that you're interested in. And then on your profile, well, it's not displaying anything because I didn't set anything, but it's displaying things such as your DAO memberships. So it's pulling that from on-chain, like your skills, your NFTs, your personality type, time availability, time zone, all of that sort of stuff. And the idea is really to make it as customizable and modular as possible. So you can see like all these blocks can be rearranged, and then anybody is like can create their own custom block, which can be like pulling in reputation from whatever other reputation protocol, or it can be really integrating whatever other Web3 integration or like data from your LinkedIn profile or whatever else. I can actually go here to show you what a more, oh, why is this? What a more complete profile looks like. We'll just go to here. So you see, I have a bunch more things on here, like the embedded link, the custom background, that sort of stuff. And then other than that, you have like the dashboard, which is displaying the main info from MetaGame, like the newsletters, the podcasts, the YouTube videos, or it's displaying your XP stats, the leaderboard, the token stats, or the community calendar. And here also the idea is really to, like, it's people can just rearrange it to their own needs, and they can build custom integrations and really want to make it into a place that pulls in whatever people need. So like the next block that we are going to build is like pulling in proposals from DAO House DAOs that you're a member of, or like bounties that are attached to your Ethereum address across like Dwork and Wonderverse or whatever other bounties platform, or like a lens feed. So really want to make it as easy as possible for people to build these custom integrations that can be pulling in other like information and interactions from other Web3 building blocks. And then you see the players, you have like the guilds, which are like the members. You can see Panvala right here. But yeah, you see other projects who are like a part of MetaGame, and then they have their own profiles that says more about what they do and displays their members, or pulling in their announcements from Discord. And there's a bunch of other stuff here that I'm not going to go into, but like once you complete a profile, for example, then it sends you off here, and then you have like these onboarding paths. So you have like these general paths for anybody to join MetaGame, and then once you complete these, like this general path from like subscribe to the newsletter, introduce yourself, check what's going on, that sort of stuff, then you can choose some more like role specific paths, so like the builder's path, designer's path, that then explains like how to get onboarded as a person of this specific role, or you have like these like the projects that are happening, like they're MetaGame or part of MetaGame's core, or the questing system. Yeah, I'm not gonna go through all of this. The last thing that I'm gonna show, I guess, is these great houses. So like for helping people learn about the basics of these uh, domains of knowledge. So you have like the DAO space, and then you have the House of DAOs, and then here you open it, and it explains like the very basics of what DAOs are, and then it tells you, okay, these are the DAO frameworks. There's other infrastructure for running DAOs, some DAO examples, then like resources for getting started building DAOs, books about like related to what you're going to need for building DAOs or newsletters. And here also you can complete some quests and get an NFT for exploring the House of DAOs and answering about what you learn about, or about what you wish you learned, or yeah. But yeah, that's really the basic idea of like making it as easy as possible for people to join the space and yeah, get navigate the space and have this platform that pulls in different information from across the ecosystem, and building this platform which we're calling the Meta OS. That's about yeah, making it as easy as possible to build these other Web3 integrations, because yeah, we're not building like one huge platform, but really envision it to be more of a mosaic of projects. So you can see like these, for example, are actually, you open it and you get a dework board. So other projects can also integrate in other ways to be all directly accessible through this single interface. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it without getting into too much detail.
Thanks, Pete. That helps me understand a lot.
I hope so. There wasn't too much and speaking too fast. No, I spoke a bit too fast for myself, and I get mess up in the words. But yeah, I appreciate you inviting me here and giving this a brief demo of what's happening, because yeah, we've been a part of each other's communities for all these years, but yeah, we haven't touched base in a long time. And yeah, we had Niran in MetaGame about 2 weeks ago. It was really awesome to see all the progress that you have been making here. And yeah, happy to be here and share some more progress.
Yeah, thank you. Are there any questions for Pete? Ripley wrote something in the chat, Pete, if you want to read that.
Yeah, that sounds great. Whatever way you want to get him included sounds good. Like we are with, you see this, I've shown you the great houses or the onboarding quests. So this is again using another tool that's called quest chains, that's used for people to create these task sequences that can be used for creating courses. But the cool thing is that it has its own platform, its own website, but it's also integrated into MetaGame. And these quest sequences can be integrated across different websites using a different UIs, so people can make it look to fit into their own websites. So if you have your own website, you can integrate these courses directly into your own website using your own UI. But obviously also very happy to welcome people to MetaGame itself and help them get onboarded through MetaGame. Just DM me. Oh, definitely. There you go.
Perfect. Thank you again, Pete. And we'll keep going with some updates from Panvala.
Sounds good. Thank you again.
Yeah. Okay, so we touched on chapters, and just to clarify the difference, network chapters, communities are a part of the existing network, just like Giveth. And given is our first network chapter, they are going to officially announce that sometime this month. Local chapters are more like geographic communities. So if you live in a city and you wanted to start a chapter where you live, that's what that would look like, with different organizations that make up that chapter. And then the Web3 chapter is the one we've most of the communities are a part of, the one that we started from the beginning. And Victor's not here today, but Victor is the chapter supporting guide with me for Web3, and the give us guides are Ashley and Almond.
Just to give a little bit more context there, like the reason that the reason that Rachel is saying that, like, knowing too much about the chapters isn't really that much of a focus for individual community members of Panvala, is literally because it's an organizational thing for the broader movement. So if it's really what you see when you zoom out from where you are right now, you're literally within the Web3 chapter. This town hall is an event put on the Web3 chapter. Rachel is the Web3 chapter guide who's leading you through what's going on in Panvala and helping you participate in this movement. Other chapters, where they enter through basically a community in their local city or some existing organization that they're a part of, their experience participating in this movement of shifting value in our economy into their community will happen differently. It's not that everyone will go through Rachel. Different communities will go through different people who are helping them be part of this movement. And that's what the chapters are all about. So for each individual community, if you're here, the people that you're going to be interacting with are Rachel and Victor. Some people will never end up on this call. They'll end up in a give with call instead. And the people that they'll be interacting with are Ashley and Almond. That's all that the chapters are. It's literally just how the movement is internally organized. It's not something that requires a decision on the part of the communities. It's literally, where are you when you're navigating the broader movement? As you zoom out, where are you? It's within the Web3 chapter of Panvala. That's really all it is. And as we grow, you'll see more chapters with different guides leading the communities within that chapter to participate in this movement, to collect stamps, to help grow their community and help it thrive. That's really what this is all about.
Yeah, thanks, Naran, for clarifying that. Are there any questions about that? Okay, we'll keep going then. Staking for this quarter begins January 13th. We have a new staking platform, and I'll drop that link in the chat in a bit. We are looking for some help with marketing. We're figuring out what exactly that our marketing needs are, but if you are interested or know someone who is interested, you can reach out to Naran about that. Then lastly, you can see the stamps that are available to collect, the different campaigns: Index Co-op, Logos, Opolis, and Generous AF. And then this Friday, if you don't know, we're hosting a meme-a-thon for Panvala. Everyone's invited. You can come and go as you like. And it's going to be via Zoom. The idea is that we'll be giving some pan away for the memes that you create. And those are pretty much all the updates for Panvala. Naran, is there anything else that you would like to talk about?
Just really to set the tone for what 2023 looks like within Panvala. Really, it's about continuing to grow the movement, not just in terms of the communities within Web3, although growing the Web3 chapter is something that we intend to continue doing. We want every community in Web3 to be able to drive more value to their community by collecting stamps from the businesses they interact with in our economy. We want more and more Web3 communities to do that. but it's really about bringing on communities outside of Web3 and showing them how to do the same thing with sponsors that might not be tech companies, that may not be crypto companies, but showing people how they can collect stamps from the companies that they interact with, whether it's when they're booking their travel online, maybe they're earning Panvala stamps that fund their community. When they're buying let's pretend it was 2 months ago, they're buying their Christmas gifts. It's like maybe you're going to shop at a place that can actually earn you stamps for your community. When you're trying to buy your favorite snack, your favorite beverage that you get shipped to your door, maybe you're earning stamps that fund your community whenever you do that. When you're getting a meal delivered to your door, you're earning stamps. We want people to be able to, rather than have the marketing dollars in our economy flow to advertising platforms, Google, Facebook, etc., we want those dollars to flow into communities. And we've already started that within Web3. There are marketing dollars in Web3 that are not going to buy ads, they're going to communities. And that's what you're experiencing every time you collect a stamp. We want everybody to be able to do that across all the interactions they have in our economy. And that's that power that we intend to build up, acting collectively across communities. The more we each collect stamps, the more communities that are collecting stamps, the more it makes sense for businesses to shift their marketing budgets away from middlemen into communities. That's what this movement is all about. So expect to see more kinds of sponsors, expect to see more kinds of communities. And yes, that means more chapters where you won't necessarily see those communities in the Web3 town hall. Maybe they'll be going to their own local town hall. That's really how we want to organize this movement, where there's many different ways to plug in, many different ways for different kinds of communities to get oriented and learn what they need to do with communities that they see as their peers, so they can see how this movement fits into their community life, how it can drive more resources for their community. At the end of the day, we want every community to feel like they have been empowered with more resources that were really already theirs to begin with. They were just going to the wrong place. Every time a marketing dollar is being spent to get your attention, to get your business, to get you to go in the door somewhere, that's a value that belongs to you. And we just want to teach every community on the face of the planet how to shift that value and make it go into their communities instead. So looking forward to working with you all throughout this year to grow this movement, to show more and more people the power that they already have. Because again, the resources, the power that we're talking about in this movement does not come from the Panvala team. It does not come from Panvala itself. It's a power that you already have. And we want to teach as many people how to use it as possible. So looking forward to making that happen with you all. Thanks for being here. I'm looking forward to a great year.
Thank you.
Neranchero was wondering about staking in the snapshots. How many?
Yes. Yeah, so the staking process for this quarter is brand new. This is the first time that we're doing this process. So if you are new to Panvala, you're on the right track because they'll be learning about this for the first time. If you staked before, we're doing it slightly different from this quarter from here on out. So there's two things that are different. One is that the place that staking happens is on Snapshot. So the link that Rachel put in the chat, snapshot.panvala.com, there's an example staking poll that we did late last year to walk people through what it's going to look like. In about 2 weeks, if you go to snapshot.panvala.com, there's going to be a live poll there for you to be able to use your pan to earn bonus stamps for your community. So that is really the second difference. The staking pan on its own does not, staking pan on its own used to earn pan for your community. Even if you weren't collecting stamps, if you were staking pan, your community would earn value for that. Moving forward, the staking pan is really just a bonus percentage on the stamps that your community has collected. So if you're only staking and you're not collecting stamps, there's no value that your community is earning. This movement is really all about driving value from businesses to communities. So if you're not collecting the stamps, there's really that's really the core of what our movement is. So the staking is meant to be a bonus on top of that. So the more your community stakes, the more your percentage bonus will be for the stamps that you've collected. So again, all those details are at snapshot.panvala.com in that example poll there. And again, the live poll for this quarter will go up in 2 weeks. So if you revisit snapshot.panvala.com in 2 weeks, you'll be able to actually stake your pan, select your community, and indicate which one you want to support. But you have to make sure that before January 13th, you actually for any pan that you want to be able to stake, there's a snapshot that's taken on January 13th. So all of the staking needs basically any pan you want to be able to stake, you have to have in your account already on January 13th. And then when you visit and you indicate with your account which community you want to support, the balance of pan that it uses will be your balance from January 13th. So that's all you need to know. The more people in your community that stake, the more bonus you get. The more for the people in your community that are deep into Web3, that have their own MetaMask wallet, etc., making sure that they know that they can support their community by getting a small amount of pan and staking with it to earn bonus percentage on the stamps that they're collecting. That's really all it is. And all that information there is at snapshot.panvala.com. Definitely looking for feedback on this process. This is the first time that we're doing it. We want to make it easy for people to accomplish and easy for people to understand. So we think it'll be easier to, once people do it the first time, I think it'll land for more people. But if you go through this process and something feels off and you don't understand what's going on, we want to iterate on it to make sure that it's smooth and simple for everybody to do. So let us know how your experience is. Chio, when he said to participate in the snapshot, you must have PAN tokens before the snapshot is released. That's exactly what we're saying. So the PAN tokens need to be in the account before January 13th, when the staking snapshot poll will begin. And then you'll have 2 weeks to be able to actually say, oh, I want to support Shenanigan, or I want to support this other community. You'll have 2 weeks to actually do the poll, but you have to have the PAN tokens in your account before the snapshot is taken on January 13th. Any other questions about staking? While I have you, there's a visual that I think makes it slightly easier to understand. So I'm going to share that with you. So again, this document that I'm about to share with you is available on snapshot.panvala.com. It's linked to in that example poll. But again, there's a quick explainer of how the bonus stamps work. Let me know if I'm up, but I'm starting the video and hope that. But basically, there's a table with examples of what happens when your community stakes. And I think that's the easiest way to get it across. So if you pull up the table in this document, you'll see that it's based on the number of people staking and the amount that they're staking. You don't have to have a whole bunch of PAN to stake. It's really more about the number of people staking that helps you earn your bonus. So to earn 5% bonus, that's either 4 people staking 1,000 PAN, or it's 1 person staking 10 times as much. But 4 people staking a small amount can have as much of an impact as 1 person staking a bigger amount. And to get 100% bonus, the maximum bonus, that's 64 people staking a small amount, 1,000 PAN, or 1 person staking a gigantic amount, 4 million, or 20 people staking a medium amount. So it's really, this table kind of walks you through the scenarios of what it looks like. Again, more people staking a small amount is really the goal of the staking program. I'll drop this link in the chat as well, but again, it's all available at snapshot.panvala.com.
Hi, Victor. Welcome. Any questions before we say goodbye? Okay, well, thank you everyone for coming. You can always reach out to us if you have any other questions. And we hope you have a wonderful new year with all of you. Yeah, thanks again. Hope to see you next month.
Happy New Year, everybody.